If you're a fan of shooters, you have probably been bunkered down in a dark room somewhere for the past 10 years playing Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, or Battlefield, all the while letting the genre of military simulators slip right by your bloodthirsty crosshairs. Before you go raging on why you can't run forever, why you can't land a 300-meter bullet to save your life, got him, and the controls are a major pain in the ass, let me school you, Jensen, how not to be a noob. Arma 3. Unlike most shooters, Arma 3 is designed to simulate war. This means you can only run for short durations, after which it's harder to aim, and if you hear snap, crackle, pop when you were fired at, you might actually experience some real-world anxiety.
There's a guy to your right, prone, on the hill, standing up.
Got me. Aside from the authenticity of the ambient sounds, dynamic clouds, and even minute details like functional rear-view mirrors lay a deeper psychology of the game. The graphics, sounds, and controls are trying to achieve an authentic simulation. Therefore, your controls are intended to require you to think about your actions. This is a great tool for keeping you immersed in the gameplay. Traditionally, the game itself is a giant tool for the community. Bohemia does a great job at leaving both the editing and modding of the game completely open so that the user-created content is the backbone of the game. Game modes developed by the community from Arma include Stratus Life, Wasteland, Domination. Stratus Life is a good versus bad role-playing mission file that has everything from jails, police checkpoints, clothing shops, fishing, mining, and suicide bombers. Wasteland is a post-apocalyptic wasteland, player versus player free-for-all with items, vehicles, and gun shops throughout the map. Small side missions appear with NPC weapons cache, and players even have the ability to build bases so they may stockpile weapons and food. Domination, a player versus computer war simulator that is objective domination cap points. The game mode can include everything in Arma from sniper rifles, predator missiles, jets, and tanks. With all these new toys and tactics, it's pretty easy to get lost, so let's focus on the heart of warfare, the infantry. Infantry movement. Most of your movement throughout the map should be done thoughtfully. Calculating the approach to give you the advantageous high ground with the most cover should be done on the map before you reach your objective. Yes, this means going all the way around if you have to, so you don't have a shitty low-terrain uncovered approach. Some behaviors to avoid are running in open spaces, along the tops of hills, or when you're out of breath. Taking the time to mentally calculate your next line of movement between catching your breath, along with stopping, listening, and watching the area you're about to run in will greatly reduce your chances of being spotted first. Using the brush, bushes, and trees to your advantage by constantly running in and through them will also reduce your chances of being seen first. Firing. Unlike most shooters, the best marksman at Arma 3 doesn't necessarily always win. You must fight the urge to instinctively fire the instant you see a player. Your brain, patience, and discipline are the most advantageous weapons you have in Arma. Before you shoot, consider the enemy's movement and wait for him to hit an open space with no cover to give you multiple shots at him. Make sure he's absolutely alone and you will not be calling hell down on your position if you fire first. Time your shots accordingly, fire nice and slow. Watch the bullet drop and aim for center of mass. If the target is moving, make sure to aim far ahead and far above your target. Know your loadout. Arma 3 houses an insane amount of infantry weapons, and not all of them are created equal. Knowing what your golden gun is a personal choice. I personally prefer a machine gun over anything if I am playing as a squad leader because I like to support my team with suppressive, sporadic, cheek-clenching MG fire on my enemies. I'm not called Rambo Crunch for nothing. If I am doing some lone wolf play, I much rather prefer the 5.56 with the silencer and 12x scope for sniping. If I am assaulting, I prefer the Scorpion silenced with a red dot. So then it truly depends on the player and his playstyle. I recommend learning the basics of map editing and throwing in an ammo box with every weapon in the game, giving yourself some target practice, and discover what weapon is your golden gun. Squad play. A squad is only as strong as its weakest member. 8-man squads of mediocre players are less effective than squads of 3 seasoned vets. Having clear communication skills while under fire, calling precise compass bearings, and working in unison are the fundamentals of a pro team. Voice communication and compass readings on taking fire are mandatory. Crying, "He's up in the fucking trees!" will only get your squad killed. Stop it. Learn to read a compass. Know your team's weak spots and work with them. You should now have a basic understanding of how to play Arma 3 without getting wrecked too hard. Post in the comments what game mode you would like to see a video about, and I will select the most upvoted one. In the meantime, happy hunting, and the rest you will discover for yourself or die trying.
I mean, he's not gonna know where it's coming from.
I see people at the airfield.